Hey, I'm glad you came over for dinner today. And even if you're not eating, there's still plenty for you to digest. So, have a seat and relax. And for those who are eating, enjoy your meal. And either way, please enjoy the video. Welcome back to my series of Call of Duty Zombies map reviews. My last review, I told you what map I was doing next, and that was Buried. Buried is a very unique, interesting, and, in my opinion, underrated map. Just like every other map, it has its highs and lows. People who are fans, not fans, and just indifferent. And that's today's topic: the fans of Buried and the lack thereof. We'll be talking about what I think of this generally overlooked classic and what makes it not just Black Ops 2's, but all of Zombies' hidden gem. So, what exactly makes a hidden gem? Well, if you ask Google, it says something valuable or beautiful that is not well known or appreciated. And as far as zombies go, I would say Buried is definitely one of the lesser known maps. I know of or know personally so many people who have never played the map or just outright never heard of it. And if they have played it, they see it more as a throwaway map. And it doesn't help with the maps that surround it. Not you. We'll get to you. And I've already done you. So you can check out my channel for that video also. The maps I'm talking about are Origins and Mob of the Dead, which are widely considered two of the greatest maps of all time. Despite my less than ecstatic feelings towards Origins, I can see why people would appeal to it more than Buried. Slight spoilers for my Origins video, but with an Easter egg that's perfection can only be rivaled by Der Reisendrak in my opinion, and with Mob's phenomenal story and map design, it's easy to see how people hold them to such praise and forget about such maps like Shadows of Evil and the topic of this video, Buried. Another reason for Buried's burial into obscurity, pun intended, was its development. At the time, Jimmy Zielinski was stepping down as creative director for Zombies as Jason Blundell was stepping in. So, in that transition, there obviously had to be some hiccups. That transition of Jimmy out of Treyarch, along with the failure of Transit and the indifferent and controversial opinions of Die Rise, there was no light at the end of the tunnel for Buried to shine through and rise from its underground town to the castle on the snowy mountains, or swim to the prison island of Azkaban. This is Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Alcatraz. The combination of these two major factors made Buried fall out of everyone's favor and view. Even to this day, Buried is a map that's only recognized by some of the hardcore players and fans of zombies. It's such a shame, because like I said before, Buried is one of the most unique and interesting maps in all of zombies. The creativity alone is so beautiful. Everything from the big additions to the small, you can tell they put a lot of love into this map. From the moment you spawn in, Buried hooks you in. With the coal mine and the bottomless pit next to it, it captures your full attention. Playing for your first time will catch you off guard and have you wondering where exactly can you go from here. You'll eventually notice the wall buy for the LSAT that looks reachable from a simple jump across the gap. As you try to make said jump, you'll land on the grate to fall mere seconds later. Or for the more adventurous type, there are other options down as well. Once you finish your fall and make your way through the cave systems, you'll come to find out why the map is called Buried. Buried itself is not known for being the prettiest of maps, but that doesn't mean it's not beautiful. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that holds true for Buried. Although the bright colors are few and far in between, the aesthetic makes up for the lack of color. Some may say gloomy and depressing, but for me, it's so much more. Movie fans should be in absolute bliss when it comes to Buried. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's your favorite zombies map for that reason. Buried brings two of the best genres in my opinion, horror and western, and it mixes so perfectly. The Old Town brings you right into those old westerns like Bonanza and Gunsmoke, and every time I play, I feel like I'm standing right next to Marshall Dillon and Festus. When you add the horror elements such as the witch's house, it mixes effortlessly and adds a cherry on top. The vibe of the map is incredible. I mean, who doesn't like the feeling of being in a movie? The town, the witch's house, the hedge maze, and the staircase down the pack For some reason, you would think all those factors would feel out of place, but it doesn't. Buried just works. Beauty isn't just found in the layout and themes of the map either. Like I said before, it can be found in creativity. I think it's the best part of Buried. Buried is one of the most unique and original map ideas in all of Zombies. That includes everything in the map, all the new features, buildables, weapons, and certainly the characters all have a personality. Especially one of my favorite additions to Zombies, the 6 foot tall, sugar crazed, violent yet sensitive, emotional drunk that is Arthur, better known as Leroy. And what a great help this alcoholic is to us. He's a great listener unless he's spooked by a couple shots in the back that sends him running straight back where you found him. But just like you found him first, a little drinky drink brings him right back out of the cage. Just like everyone's favorite uncle with drinking problems, booze makes him forget everything but his anger. Giving Leroy alcohol lets him smash through debris, getting you to previously inaccessible areas. Also, if you feed him a little candy, he can smash down the mystery box in place so you don't have to hunt it down. Although it is not a big deal if it does leave because Leroy can just carry the box to any location you wish. There's so much Leroy can do for you. I mean, he can even hold the last zombie for you, which does come in handy. With everything that Leroy can do and all the other additions, such as the Ray Gun Mark II, which is now added to every other map on Black Ops 2 once you purchase the Buried DLC, and things such as the Time Bomb, which allows you to travel back in time to the moment you place the bomb, the addition of the Vulture's Aid perk, which has so many abilities, such as making green mist that if you stand in it, you're visible to zombies. Pouches dropped by zombies give you extra points, and so many other abilities that I can't remember at this moment. Speaking of perks, another addition is the Witch's House, which allows you to go in, and if you make it to the other side, killing all the witches, you get another random perk. The only catch is, just like every other witch, but with a capital B, they steal your money and get a hold of your wallet in your back pocket. But with all these things and more that I haven't even mentioned, it's so easy to see how Zelensky and team poured every ounce of their soul into this project. That passion is beautiful. That passion is the beauty of Buried. To be so forgotten, Buried is one of the most important maps in the zombie storyline. It is technically the end of the Black Ops 2 story, even though it's not the last map in the game. It is at this point in the story, plans for either Richtofen or Maxis come to its conclusion, depending on who you side with. If you side with Richtofen, Stuhlinger gets taken over by Richtofen, and Richtofen gains control of the Ether. If you choose Maxis' side, being the canon ending of the story, Maxis takes control of the Ether, frees Samantha's soul from Richtofen's body, and sends it to Agartha, setting up for the rest of the story moving forward with Origins. As for Richtofen, his soul is put into a zombie as punishment. The events of Buried set up for every other story element in the future of zombies. Without Buried, there would be no Origins, no Der Eisendrache, not even Black Ops 3, one of the greatest, if not the greatest zombies games there is. The value of Buried is in its story. Not just the main story of zombies, but also in the backstory. Fun fact, did you know the first Pack-a-Punch machine was made here? Buried is so much more than the end of Black Ops 2. It actually has so much to do with the end of the entire Ether storyline. I would say having an impact on the entire story from beginning, middle, and end holds plenty of value. The beauty is in its mystique, atmosphere, and the passion the developers put into this project. I would say that people never hearing or ever playing the map due to other seemingly more appealing maps make it not well known and underappreciated. By definition, that makes Buried something valuable or beautiful that is not well known or appreciated, aka a hidden gem. With that being said, what are my thoughts on the map? Is it personally one of my favorites? Personally, I do think Buried is underrated. Why else would I center my entire video idea around that topic if I didn't believe it to be so? It's not my favorite map, but it has its value and beauty like I discussed before. Everything I talked about are my favorite parts of the map. The atmosphere does not get any better. A lot of people who have played Buried finds it plain and boring, which is only sometimes partially true. To the plain part, I will ask those people, are we playing the same map? And the boring part, I can agree to an extent. When going for high rounds, it does get a bit boring. Sitting in one spot, camping, pressing one button can be mind numbing. And I'm not even lying when I say that's the whole strat. Get the paralyzer to sit in a corner and slowly kill zombies so the paralyzer doesn't overheat. Easiest round 100 ever. The reason that is the strat that there is no spots to train. There's like two spots I can think of really, and that's right next to the first box location, which is really easy to get trapped, and there's a decent spot outside of the saloon. Nowhere to train is my only real complaint about the map. That shows a lot when talking about zombies. It seems like there's always something to nitpick, and I don't think so in this case. And you may have a completely different opinion, and that's fine. Overall, Buried is a very solid map, and I know I keep saying it, but it is severely underrated. And hopefully, this video can bring some new fans and make you want to go play this map. Hopefully, I can shine some light through the depths and uncover what is buried. So, that brings us to the end of the video. Whether you're a new or old player of zombies, hopefully, you'll give maps like Buried a chance. Even if you don't like it, it's still worth a shot. Like I said in the beginning, every map has its ups and downs, its fans and lack thereof. So, next time you hear something about a zombies map, make sure you play it for yourself first before forming an opinion on it. And who knows, you might find a map like Buried. You might find a hidden gem of your own. But with that being said, that's all for this one. Thanks for coming, and hopefully you can join me for next time when we take a look at the controversial Die Rise. Now it's time for me to clean up, do some dishes, have a safe drive home, and have a good one.